So my favourite Pokemon is Mimikyu, and let me tell you why. It's because it's just amazing. There you go, end of story. No, when Mimikyu was first announced, didn't really like it. I thought it was just another sort of attempt at a Pikachu clone. Wasn't great, but then I got to use it and got to know its backstory, and the fact that it's, you know, if you see its true form, you'll perish, and it just wants to dress up as the most popular Pokemon out there, Pikachu, just to be loved. It's amazing, and its typing of Ghost Fairy was a fantastic type combination. Two very popular types there, and I think it's a very unique Pokemon. Most Pokemon are based off of animals or lore, but this Pokemon is just based off of an idea, and I think it's great.
What is my favorite Pokemon? That's a really hard question to answer. I don't think I could just give one answer because there's so many good Pokemon out there. There's like, what, 800 plus out there? How is it possible to limit it down to just one Pokemon? I mean, that's just like asking a parent to choose their favorite child. I could never ever do that. I mean, there's just so many cool Pokemon out here in the world, and like, well, I wish they were in our world. I mean, there'd be so many I would want to have in real life. I'm not sure. How could you possibly limit it to just one Pokemon though? It's like having an unhealthy obsession or buying too much of one thing. I just don't understand. It's impossible to just have one favorite, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, like, it'd be like if I owned like a million of one thing. I don't know, it's just hard to pick. What truly is my favorite Pokemon? The world may never know.
I think my favorite Pokemon as a kid easily would have been Charizard, mostly just because I played Fire Red as a kid. That was like my first Pokemon game. Charizard was a box art mon, like literally the entire reason that I wanted to play Fire Red, and the reason I picked it, you know, between the two is because there was Charizard on the box. And I'm like, I want that. And I mean, what kid doesn't love dragon? You know, what kid doesn't love dragons? I've juggled a lot of favorite Pokemon. It's really hard for me to pick like one singular Pokemon that I absolutely love. But over the past probably, I'd say 5 or 6 years, my life has gone completely to Cubone. Cubone is adorable. Like, look at him. Cubone's adorable. And, you know, on top of that, the fact that he wears the skull of his dead mother on his head, I really feel like it's some dark, like, it's kind of dark. And I kind of love it. And I mean, if you really want to think about it, it's wholesome in a way. You know, he's wearing the skull of his, you know, of his mom, but she's protecting him, you know. And I love the theories of, you know, what Pokemon's actually under Cubone. You know, what Pokemon is under the skull. I don't know. I like the theories. I like the uncertainty. I think he's adorable. And I like the little bit of dark stuff that comes with Cubone very specifically. And I think, you know, all those things combined is easily why he's my favorite Pokemon.
So, my favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. It always has been, and it always will be. I'm not entirely sure why. It's just been a Pokemon that's just always been really special to me. And as you would notice, my mascot is actually Raichu, who is my second favourite. But, you know, I think Pikachu just can't be beaten for me. I love it so much.
What is your favorite Pokemon? Come on, look at that beautiful little brown and light brown color scheme right next to me. It is, as always, beautiful little Eevee, actually. I love it. Plus, you also got Sylveon, you got Jolteon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and finally Flareon and Vaporeon. But more than anything else, my favorite Pokemon's Eevee. My channel mascots, I have the Let's Go Eevee collection, and yeah.
Okay, if we're talking favorite Pokemon here, I'd have to say Eevee, Charizard, Gardevoir, and Lucario. If we're including mythicals and legendaries, let's throw in Marshadow and Zeraora then. The reason I love Eevee, it's just so small and cute and cuddly, and I own 2 plushies of it. That's besides the point. Charizard, I'm just a basic guy with Charizard. It was literally my first Pokemon. There's no word of a lie there. Gardevoir and Lucario, I like them because of their anime appearances, what I've seen at least, and because I just kind of like their designs. Now, Marshadow, I can't tell you why I like this thing. Even I don't know. I just know I like it. Ever since I saw it, I want that thing. I've even kind of worked it into my character canonical backstory. And Zeraora, well, for Zeraora, it's because of my Pokemon Shield Nuzlocke. I just fell in love with that thing. But yeah, I'd have to say that's my favorite Pokemon, or those are my favorite Pokemon, I guess.
My favourite Mon is probably obvious. It's Umbreon. My boy Umbreon, especially the shiny version, is just beautiful. But I am a sucker, really, for the whole Eevee line, running from Eevee right the way through. I just love them all. They're all too cute. Pretty typical, I imagine. A lot of people, they are their faves, but yeah, they're just too cute.
This one's kind of tough for me to answer because it definitely does change a lot. I think if I was to choose an all-time favourite, it would probably be Camerupt, but there are other Pokemon that kind of bounce around as contenders for my favourite, like Tropius and Barraskewda. I'm definitely a big fan of.
Well, my favourite Pokemon has always been Torterra. Diamond is the first game I ever played, Turtwig is the first starter I ever picked. Torterra ended up being the first Pokemon I ever had as my partner. As a Pokemon that was with me till the end. Didn't play Nuzlocke back then, so he survived, obviously. And yeah, I don't know, I've been using him on like media, on profile pictures ever since. So I saw him a lot as well. He looks fantastic, he looks like a behemoth, he looks final starter worthy. So yeah, I love Turtwig a lot as well, as other Pokemon that I really adore. But Torterra is it's just a special Pokemon to me, and it will always be my number one.
I had to say, I have a lot of favorite Pokemon, but there's one Pokemon that stands out to me the most, and that is this guy, Lucario. Lucario has been my mascot and one of my favorite Pokemon of all time since I really got into Pokemon all the way back in my elementary school years, like my 4th, 5th grade. I knew Pikachu and I knew like those Pokemon that were like the basic, everyone knew them, but when I first got into Pokemon, I saw Lucario, and it was just, Lucario was the one that I just like, ooh, he looks cool. I really liked his design. I liked the way, he moves, and I saw him in like the anime when I started watching the anime. It's just, Lucario really just stands out to me, and he's always been one of my favorites. And I think, like, whenever I think of Pokemon, I always just, have to thank this guy for really just showing, like, oh, this is what Pokemon's all about. He's just really cool. I love his design. He has some great movesets. I've used him in almost every generation that he's been in since Gen 4. And it's just, Lucario just has a special place in my heart, honestly. I have a few other favorites, including Heracross and the Spheal line and them, but just, Lucario's just always going to stand out to me. And I think he's just going to be probably one of my favorite Pokemons, always.
My favorite Pokemon, huh? Well, it's got to be Glaceon, obviously. Look at my branding. No real reason why. I just really like the Ice type, and Evolutions have always been a big fan of mine. I've got, like, cups and lanyards and a bunch of plushes with them, so yeah, put those two things together, you get Glaceon, I guess.
My favorite Pokemon is actually a tie between Rockruff and Piplup. I cannot decide which one of the two I like the most, but Piplup I have more of an attachment to because I first saw Pokemon with the Diamond and Pearl anime, and obviously Dawn's Piplup was so funny and adorable, and I absolutely loved it. But then the moment I first saw Rockruff, I absolutely fell in love with it as well because it was so cute. So now they're both just tied as my favorite Pokemon, and I can't decide which one I like more, so they're both number one.
My favorite Pokemon would have to be Incineroar. It's my mascot. That's one of the many reasons why it's my favorite Pokemon. I think my love for Incineroar started the first time I played Pokemon Sun. I chose Litten after choosing Rowlet when I played Pokemon Moon, my first playthrough of Alola. That playthrough of Sun is the best playthrough of Alola I've ever had. It's also where I found love for my second favorite Pokemon, Vanillix. I gained a lot of respect for Magnezone. My team was fantastic, so I fell in love with a lot of Pokemon through that, but Vanillix and Incineroar were the best two Mons on my team, and I gotta say, Incineroar got a lot of love boost just from that playthrough. Most of you guys know that if you've been around me a while, Sceptile used to be my favorite Pokemon, but after some thinking and after having it as my mascot for a couple of years, I decided to go with Incineroar. But it's not just me playing that game, it being in Smash Bros. As the Sun and Moon representative for Ultimate, being in the anime as not only Ash's Pokemon, but the Master Royale's Pokemon, not Professor Kukui's. They're not the same person, don't get them confused. It's just the overall love for Incineroar and cats that has just built up over time, and that's why Incineroar is my favorite Pokemon.